guys, welcome to the 10 levels of linear equations. In this video I have a lot to learn, so make sure to download the PDF document from the description below and subscribe to my channel as always and smash that like button. In addition, if you can, post which level you get up to in the comments. I love reading stuff like that, and without further ado, let's get started. Level 1. So first level here, we're given x plus 1 equals 5. In order to solve it, we can simply subtract 1 from both sides to get x equals 4. Level 2. Our next question, level 2. We're given 2x equals 6. Okay, the easiest way to do this would just be simply divide both sides by 2 to get x is equivalent to 3. Trust me, it'll get harder. Level 3. Over here, we're given two lots of x plus 1 equals 6. So there are two methods of completing this question. The first one would be to expand the brackets to get 2x plus 2, because we're just multiplying 2 by x and then 2 by 1. And we can equate that to 6, and then we can subtract 2 from both sides to get 2x equals 4, and then we can just simply divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 2. However, the second method would be to, without expanding the brackets, which can sometimes be quite hefty if you're dealing with bigger numbers and more complex numbers, instead you can go ahead and divide both sides by 2 to get x plus 1 is equivalent to 6 over 2, which is just equivalent to 3. And then we can just subtract 1 from both sides to get x equals 2. So we get the same solution either ways. But in an exam situation, you would certainly be encouraged to follow this method in order to avoid wasting time. But for an easy question like this, it doesn't really matter which method you take. Some people might prefer to expand the brackets, so it's really up to you. Level 4. So 5x over 2 equals 3. So the first step here would be to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so we get 5x equals 6. And then we can just simply divide both sides by 5 to get x equals 6 over 5. Level 5. Over here, there are again two methods to solving this question. So let's try both of them. Our first method, we can go ahead and factorize our numerator here. So we will get 3 lots of 2x plus 1 if we go ahead and do that. And of course, that's all over 3. It's equivalent to 5. Okay. And then from here, we can cancel off the 3's to get 2x plus 1 equals 5. Okay. Then you can subtract 1 from both sides to get 2x equals 4. And then divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 2. So that is one method. Another method of completing this question would be to go ahead and multiply both sides by 3 to get 6x plus 3 equals 15. Then you can subtract 3 from both sides to get 6x equals 12. And then you can divide both sides by 6 to get x equals 2. It's up to you which method you want to use. I personally prefer the first one here because I believe there are less steps involved and it will save time during the exam. So I would recommend that you use the first method there. Level 6. In this question, we're given 3x minus 4 over 9 is equivalent to 3. Okay, solve for x. So the way we're going to start this one is to multiply both sides by 9 to get 3x minus 4 equals 27. And then we can just add 4 to both sides to get 3x equals 31. and then we can divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 31 over 3. Okay? Now, in order to convert that into a mixed number, we can write 31 over 3 in the form 30 over 3 plus 1 over 3. And then once we calculate 30 over 3, we get 10 plus 1 over 3. And that's just equivalent to 10 and 1 over 3. That last step to convert it into a mixed number, you can do that on your calculator. I believe once you keep practicing that, it becomes much easier and you're able to convert things into a mixed number in just your head. Level 7. So here we're seeing that x is beginning to appear on the numerator and the denominator of our fraction. Well, there's no worries in that. We can just go ahead, multiply both sides by 2x to get 24x. Okay. And then we can subtract 5x from both sides, because remember, we're trying to get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other side, okay? So you can do that, then we get 6 equals 19x, and then all we need to do is divide both sides by 19. So after we divide both sides by 19, we can say that x is going to be equivalent to 6 over 19, okay? And that is your final answer. Level 8. Here we're given 5x plus 3 over 2, all minus 8 is equivalent to 9. So what we can do here is we can first add 8 to both sides. Sorry, not add 18, add 8. And then we get 5x plus 3 over 2 equals 17. Then we can multiply both sides by 2 to say 5x plus 3 equals 34. And then we can just simply subtract both sides by 3. So just subtract 3 from both sides to get 31. So 5x equals 31. And then we can divide both sides by 5 to get x equals 31 over 5. And in order to convert that into a mixed number, we can write that in the form 30 over 5 plus 1 over 5. And then we can just say 6 and 1/5 is going to be equivalent to x. Okay, make that a bit more clear. Okay, level 9. Okay guys, this is our penultimate question, so best of luck if you made it this far. For this particular question, we have two algebraic fractions, right? And the easiest way to complete this question, there's multiple ways to do it, but the easiest way to do this would just be to add those algebraic fractions, okay? Now, in order to add fractions, we need something called a common denominator, okay? And the denominator is just that part under your fraction, right? So in the case of the first fraction, 4 is our denominator. In the case of the second fraction, 2 is our denominator. So in order to get a common denominator, we can either multiply both sides of this fraction by 2, and we can multiply both sides of this fraction by 4 to get a common denominator of 8. But instead, we can simply multiply both sides of the second fraction by 2 in order to get a common denominator of 4. So let's just go ahead and do that. 2 lots of 6x minus 9 all over 2 lots of 2. And that equals 12x minus 18 all over 4. Now, we're adding that on to 3x plus 2 over 4. I know I've switched the direction of I've switched the fractions around, but it doesn't really matter. So now what we want to go ahead and do is add the x's together and then add the numbers together. So we can do 12x plus 3x, which equals 15x. And then we can do minus 18 plus 2. Okay, and we can think of it as 2 minus 18 if you wanted to think of it that way. Minus 18 plus 2 is minus 16. And we can say that's all over 4. Now, this algebraic fraction is going to be equal to 0, as we said here. So there's one step over here that we can do that will make our life much easier. Pause the video now and see whether you can find it. Okay, the step was to multiply both sides of the equation. So this is our equation now. If we multiply both sides of the equation by 4, we're going to get 15x minus 16 equals 0. Okay? And then we can just simply add 16 to both sides. So then we get 15x equals 16. And then we can just divide both sides of the equation by 15 to get x equals 16 over 15. And of course, as a mixed number, that'll be 1 and 1 over 15. Okay? The last one. Okay guys, welcome to the last level, level 10. In this one, we're going to have to get a common denominator of 18. Okay? And that is because our common denominator is going to be 18 because 2 doesn't go into 9, right? So, yeah, we can't do anything like that. We could add this fraction to both sides and then manipulate it that way. Be my guest if you want to do it that way. You'll get the same answer if you do all the steps correctly. But let's just go ahead and subtract the algebraic fractions. So what we can do here is multiply the numerator and the denominator of the first fraction by 2, and then multiply the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction by 9. So we get 2 lots of 5x minus 2. And I'm going to go ahead and group the fractions here. And of course, we're subtracting 9 lots of 6x minus 5, right? We're going to have to be careful with the signs here. So I insist you use some red square brackets. That's what I call them, the red square brackets. What you want to go ahead and do now is expand the bracket. So 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times minus 2 is, of course, minus 4. So we're going to get 10x minus 4. That's all inside a nice red bracket. And then we're, of course, subtracting something else, which is also inside a nice red bracket. 9 times 6x is 54x. And then 9 times minus 5 is minus 45. And that's all in one nice red bracket. So, that's all over 18. Before we set this equal to 5, let's just carry out the subtraction in the numerator. So, 10x minus 4 minus 54x minus 45. Well, let's do the x's, then let's deal with the numbers. 10x minus 54x is equivalent to minus 44x. Minus 4 minus 45 is equivalent to minus 4 plus 45, which will get you plus 41. And that's, of course, all over 18. Now we can set this equal to 5, and we can say minus 44x plus 41 is equivalent to 90. Okay, because 5 times 18 is, of course, 90. Now, minus 44x, if we go ahead and subtract 41 from both sides, we get minus 44x is equivalent to 49. And then we can divide both sides of the equation by minus 44 to get x equals 49 over minus 44. We can write that as x equals minus 49 over 44. That will be an acceptable answer. Yeah, that last one, an acceptable answer, will be enough there. The mixed number is quite complex for that question, so usually you'd expect it as an improper fraction. Anyway guys, sub to my channel if you enjoyed this video, like the video, post in the comments which level you got up to, follow me on Twitter, and just do all of that really, and practice your maths. Bye.